Hey, it's January 2023. There are 0 degrees outside. I have 5 degrees here in the shop. It's a 50 square meter shop. I used to have a wooden stove here, but I canceled it because it was taking too much space. So I end up with this diesel heater. It cost like 140 euros. It's a 8 kilowatts unit. It's burning around 300 milliliters an hour if it's running at full speed, and yeah, for my shop at least it's not enough. It's like only increasing the temperature with 1.5 degrees per hour, and yeah, I'm not sure if this thing is really a 8 kilowatts. I remember that back in the past when I used to drive as an international truck driver, we used to have on the trucks 3 kilowatts units from Ebespacher or Webasto, which by the way they are very expensive. Brand new they can be like between 1,500 euros and 2,000 euros. We had those units, and I remember that we used to heat up our food at the heat outlet, and if you forgot your food there for more than 15 minutes, it was literally boiling. So this thing, a lot of people say like, hey, you can't even keep your hand here for too long, but I'm going to turn it on very soon, and I'm going to show you that I can keep my hand here. It's not as strong as the 3 kilowatts we used to have on the trucks. This is not double of the power of the 3 kilowatts one. It's simply not. Either way, it's 140 euros, right? So I better make this more efficient. What I discovered is that, for example, the outlet, the heat outlet is like around 150 degrees, and the exhaust pipe, it can heat up till around 180. Now, I'm not a big fan of using heat gases in order to do a heat exchange, but there are 2 ways that you can do it, but you need to be very careful about it. Exhaust gases, they are not something you want to play with. They can be very harmful, they can be deadly. So if you get this unit, and if you are watching this clip, and if you want to like improve it, take care of mounting CO2 sensor in your shop. Like any leak, if it's collecting for a long time, like hours of running and this and that, can really cause you death. Okay, so before anything, get a CO2 sensor and mount it in your shop. Now, regarding those 2 ways, the best way I see is to get a gas liquid heat exchanger. They are dedicated ones. They can be expensive, but for this kind of application, you can simply get a AGR diesel heat cooler. I guess, yeah, that's how they call it. I have issues because my English is not my mother language, so sorry for spelling problems here. Anyway, you can find those gas liquid heat exchangers for cheap money just by using the ones you find on the engines like 1.4 HDI or 2.0 HDI. They build it on Citroën or Peugeot units. I'm going to put a part code in the description, so you can have a look about this kind of heat exchanger. The thing about it is that it's very easy to adapt for this kind of application. You can adapt hoses without any other further modifications. Some of those heat exchangers, they are attached straight to the engine, so it's pretty hard to make a sealed outlet in order to connect it on a hose. So after you get and you do this setup with the heat exchanger, you only need like expansion tank for the water from, yeah, you can buy it separately and this and that. You need a water pump and yeah, other stuff in order to make a whole closed circuit, and a radiator, of course, in order to recirculate the water. From my point of view, this is the best way in order to extract the heat out of the exhaust gases. Now, I saw that a few guys tried out the heat exchange through a, just by putting the heat exhaust through a radiator and after that dumping them out. This is also an option, but you need to take in consideration the exhaust gases restriction from these kind of units. Those kind of units, they need maintenance. I mean, they are burning diesel, they get clogged most of the times, so they need maintenance. And taking in consideration how Chinese they are, I'm not sure how easy it is to find yeah, replacement parts and stuff like that. So you need to be kind of careful with the exhaust. And yeah, I think by putting it through a radiator, it can create exhaust restrictions. I didn't saw any clip and any other guy trying to measure how much is restricting the exhaust, or any other person that shared its experience regarding how is this affecting the diesel heater on long term if you use it by doing heat exchange through a radiator. But I'm going to try it out just to see how efficient it is. One more thing, I saw that a lot of people had problem with condensation and water inside the exhaust. The thing is that when you do heat exchange through a radiator, there is water coming out from the combustion and also the heat exchange in the radiator, because you put gas of 185 degrees in the radiator and it's going out, I don't know, I saw guys that they tested it out and it was coming out of like around 20 degrees. So obviously there is condense and water coming up in your radiator. So you really need to take care in order to put your radiator higher, the diesel heater higher than the radiator, and the exhaust outlet from the radiator out at the lowest level possible, in order for the water to go outside and not restrict even more your exhaust. Besides that, just be very careful regarding the connections. Again, you don't want to play with diesel exhaust gases. Yeah, hopefully next week I'm going to receive that heat exchanger and yeah, keep you up to date. Now I have everything necessary in order to do this setup, and simply put the exhaust through a radiator and dump it out, measure and see how efficient it is. Okay, let's try it out and see how it goes. Hey, I finished up the setup. I also mounted down there an air induct in order to force the air through the radiator. Apparently those things are rated at around 200 degrees. Now the exhaust gases, they are not that hot, but they're pretty close. So yeah, I thought it's a good idea to force the air through. Maybe it's going to be a bit more efficient. So I tried it out. It didn't run for more than 2 minutes or something like that, and I already started up having gas leaks. Initially, I connected this exhaust pipe, straight on yeah, the other pipe. Now, yeah, the fitting was not really perfect, so I started up having gas leaks, as you see here on the wall. And yeah, I shut it down, tried to weld this small resonator against the pipe. So yeah, like that, I thought it's going to be more sealed, and it was, but the original connection over here didn't withstand The yeah, I can take it out right now with one hand, but anyway, it didn't withstand the pressure that was building up inside. Yeah, so yeah, from my point of view, there are gas restrictions, exhaust restrictions uh, that are coming up with this setup, and I really don't think it's safe. There are some people that tried to use epoxy in order to seal it up, but yeah, from my knowledge, that thing is not very good at withstanding high temperatures. So I don't think it's a safe setup for long term, neither for me, neither for the machine, because there are exhaust restrictions. So yeah, okay. I'm going to try out the gas liquid heat exchanger. I think that's going to be more safe and efficient. So I finished up the installation. I let it run for around 7 hours. I just shut it down 2 minutes ago in order to be able to make this video. This thing is making a lot of sound. Besides that, just got stuck to 30 degrees. The radiator, it's warm but not warm enough. It also burned like 2.5 liters. So before leaving, I've been to a party, and I mounted up a webcam here in order to check what's happening. And yeah, I put those two smart plugs in order to shut it down in case things were going wrong while I was away. But I'm not happy with this. And if you are planning to buy this in order to warm up your shop, just check the size of your shop. And for example, this my shop is like 50 around 50 square meters, and let's just say that around 70% of it is like 3 meters high. The roof is isolated, the walls are not. They're only plated with OSB and a wooden facade, as you see here. And it's it's not okay. I mean, it's burning 2.5 liters. It's not even warm here. Outside there are -2 degrees. Inside I have 12 degrees, and it was running for 12 hours. I mean, seriously, it's it's not okay. I'm not going, I mean, I'm going to use it. Maybe, I don't know, if I get some animals in the future and I'm building up a coop for them, and I consider that it's way too cold outside, I could use it. If I go to for camping, I can use it. Or yeah, you never know when your householding heating unit is going to break down, and you can use this maybe. But yeah, for a shop, no. If this shop would have like 20 square meters, would have been enough, I guess. But in my situation is really not. So I'm going to drop this project and this heating unit, and I'm going to build up a wooden stove and try to do the heat exchange with wood. The reason why I'm going to use wood and not oil, like a lot of people I saw they already use, is because I have a lot of wood from work, like pallets. I know that the pine wood is not really recommended for yeah, heating up, because it doesn't have a lot of caloric energy, or how it's called. It's also very well known for building up debris and yeah, getting stuff clogged. But if I'm thinking well about the heat exchange method, it's possible that those things are not going to affect me. Why I'm saying that is because I have two heat exchangers from householding gas heating unit. Those are the two heat exchangers. They are rated at 10 kilowatts, but those are for gas. So I'm not sure if they are going to work for wood, and especially not the pine wood. Now, depends a lot of the position I'm going to mount them up and the way I'm going to mount them up, but yeah, pine, it's pine. So I think they are going to get clogged very, very fast. Another option would be to build up a separate chamber above the fire, where I could store the water and then recirculate it through a radiator and the whole installation. Okay, this is the method I would prefer. Now, the method that I don't prefer is to burn waste oil. Apparently in Belgium you can even make prison for burning waste oil, and the fines are pretty big. So yeah, that's two of the reasons why I'm not going to use waste oil. The third reason is that I'm not sure where I can get waste oil from. Yeah, there is the option where, yeah, you could go and just get it from the services and this and that, but I'm not sure if people want to, get involved in this kind of thing. So I'm going to stay with the wood. I have a lot of wood to burn in the back, and it's for free. And if I'm thinking about a good design, I think it's going to go pretty well. So again, if you're planning to get this thing in order to warm up your shop, think twice before. Um, like I said, if it's less than 30 meters, 30 square meters, it could work. It's good. It worked well. I did a few mistakes on the way. It didn't got broken. Let's just say like that. So I don't know, for a Chinese thing, it feels pretty okay, and for the money especially, it's pretty okay. I mean, think about it. If I would have paid like 500 euros for a second-hand Webasto, yeah, I would have had the Webasto, but I'm not sure if that thing would have hit up this place neither. So instead I paid 140, and it's in a fancy box with a tank above, yeah, uh, thermostat in the front and this and that. So it's pretty okay. I'm not really disappointed of my purchase. I'm going to keep it as a second option unit in case of emergency. So now it's up to you what you're going to do and the decision you are going to make, if you want to buy this thing or not. For camping, it's a great device, seriously. I used to go a lot in camping in the last like 2 or 3 years. I didn't go anymore, but yeah, if I drop working so much like I do nowadays, and if I start going to camping, this thing is going to be my first thing to pack up. So yeah, what can I say? Thank you for staying with me while we did all this try up, and see you on my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.